Hi everybody, it's Nick McDonald here from Trade with Precision. Thank you for joining us for this week's ICE commentary on the dollar index and currency markets. Dollar index had a very big move up last week and really reversed this downward momentum that it had. What we had here, looking back at what myself and Travis were saying, is that if we broke down through the 7400 level and broke downward out of that range, it was starting to look quite bearish, and the move was certainly looking like being to the downside. On the monthly chart here, we can see that the candles were really bearish, and any break down below 74 and down below these previous lows would have been looking like a good move lower. Now, we had two catalysts last week which actually really changed this. One was Swiss bank intervention, and so if we come and look at this on dollar Swiss, this is something that everybody that follows currency markets will have known about, but we had Swiss bank intervention. And what we've got here is a really big bullish move on the US dollar as the Swiss franc went out there selling Swiss francs. So this had a nice impact on the dollar index and gave it a good push up. Then the next catalyst came from euro dollar, and this is for the potential of some of a Greek default on their debt. And what we had here was on the speculation of that, big sell-off on Thursday, another big sell-off on Friday, down a little bit again already so far this week. And there's just that potential this week for that news to come out and be confirmed that Greece is going to default on some of its debt, which will be very bad for the Eurozone, and at the same time is pushing up the US dollar. So we've had two big catalysts there, two big pieces of news which have come and pushed the price right up. So now looking at this and thinking, right, how can we trade this? What will happen next? So first things first, just looking at key levels. 7600 has been the one that we've talked about for a long time, because it was tested all the way back here many months ago, all the way back through here, coming all the way back to 2008. So we're talking years ago, and coming right through here as well, many tests. It looks a little bit like it just smashed up through 7600. Just want to drill down and show you what happened at 7600. So let's just come back here to where we actually broke up through it. So this middle line I've got on the chart here is 7600. We came up to it, we broke through it, we pulled back, and we bounced right off it. But then what's most interesting here is what happened. Look at that blue line all the way through here for a long time. Look at how price hovered around 7600. So it had broken above, came back down, rejected it, came back, found support, broke a little bit again, broke back up, found support here on 3 different candles before finally rallying right off it. So 7600, remember, just I'm highlighting this because it's a level we've talked about so much, and I still think people aren't taking full notice of how powerful these levels are. They're really strong, and not just for the longer term, but for the shorter term and for intraday trading opportunities as well, exactly like what happened right there. We had the next one up here of 7700 marked on the chart. Price came up, broke back down, came above it, broke up through it. So now let's just come and have a look at where some of the key levels are now, because we've broken up and we're actually just up above 78 as of trading right now. So let's just come and have a little look at where we are. So we've broken up through 76, we've broken up through 77. I'm going to leave those lines in the chart because they're still relevant if price comes back and tests. But now that we're breaking up through 78, I need to see a convincing breakthrough there, but there's nothing really stopping price coming up and at least testing 80. So this is on a weekly chart. In fact, it's a little bit ahead of 80 based on the weekly, so probably around about 79.50. When we look at that in other charts in a minute, you'll see it looks more like around the 80 level, where we've had good tests around this level in the past. But there's nothing much stopping price getting there. So now what I'm doing is I'm looking at the levels of 78, 77 and 80, and I'm looking for opportunities around these levels. That can mean I can be long or short, and if price rejects 7800 now, which is starting to do literally as we speak, I can see price trading here at 77.97. If price gets up above 78 and pulls back, I'll be looking for long trades at 78. If price rejects 78, I'll be looking for short trades at 78. Bearing in mind, even though we're breaking up through 78 now, look at how price has been up here before. It's been up here not that many weeks ago, only slightly lower, and still rejected and came right back down. So we're by no means completely and utterly bullish yet, but we're showing much more signs of bullishness. And if there's any more bad news out of Europe this week, then there's looking like, certainly the risk here is to the upside. The risk is looking like any risk out of Europe with a Greek default is looking like, if anything, it's more likely to push the dollar index up. So certainly, I'd be swaying slightly towards the long side here with that potential risk of news this week. But ultimately looking for shorter term opportunities around these levels, and looking to see here as price now on the monthly chart is now breaking up through these highs, looking to see can it actually rally. So we've got more like around 80 when we look at it on a daily and weekly chart, but actually on a monthly chart this is looking to me like it could be rallying more like up towards 82. What I'm looking for here as well is I'm looking right here as a big move down before. Where might this retrace to? And at 82 we've got not only got previous support and resistance, we've also got the 50% fib retracement, which is just a nice healthy sized move. And as we start to now break up through these lows, even if we still consider this a downtrend, it's just starting to look like rallying up towards that kind of level. So I'm reasonably bullish now in the shorter term on the US dollar. Been looking for trades around these key levels still, but looking for a move up, and looking for a move up to around about 80 based on a daily chart, where we can see a lot of support and resistance through here in the past. Nothing much stopping the price getting in the way there, apart from of course 78, which is where we're trading right now. 78 could provide opportunities to both the long and the short side on an intraday basis. If I do get some good long trades above 7800, then I'll be looking to run them quite strongly up towards 80. If we do get short trades at 78 and reject that, then I'll be looking to run it back down towards 77 and maybe even back down towards 76. I do think also, by the way, that any pullback now, this is probably one of the better potential trading opportunities. Any pullback now, as we started to pull back towards 76, if this happened, could provide some really good long opportunities, because 76 has already given so many opportunities in the past, and this would be very much an opportunity like what we had back here. So we moved down, pulled back to 76, around about 50%, and fell off. Well, now what's happening just on the opposite side. So now we've moved up above 76 and pulled back to 76 into that 50% fib level, and being a major support resistance level, could provide a really nice entry to the long side and a run back up towards 78 and maybe even towards 80. So lots of opportunity there, swaying definitely towards the bullish side now, keeping a very close eye on Europe and the situation that happens there. But certainly risk here to the upside, therefore certainly swaying more to taking intraday positions and longer term positions to the upside, and looking to use these major support and resistance levels just to time my entry into those trades, as well as other technical factors such as what is the trend and things like pivot points on lower time frames. Happy trading all, hope that helps, and I'll speak to you next week.